Right then, this is a little bit more like it.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yes, my people, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan, and as always, I do hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that an exclusive on Football Transfers says Chelsea have made an approach for Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins. Now, we've heard stories already about Chelsea getting on the blower to Aston Villa, knowing that they could be in big financial trouble should they not qualify for the Champions League, which is looking less and less likely. Morgan Rogers, of course, is a story we have reacted to recently here on the channel. Apparently, Chelsea have been interested in Rogers since before he went to Aston Villa. But Ollie Watkins, 30-year-old senior striker, very, very accomplished Ollie Watkins, with this situation with Nico Jackson, seeing his ceiling again. Oh yeah, he actually could be very good. He just needs that senior striker that basically can always deliver and will take the pressure off. And my word, Ollie Watkins plays football very, very well as a striker. Scores goals as well. We're going to get into it. We're going to cite the article. We're going to look at the stats, baby! Both on X value and on understat. We'll do a little comparison to Nico Jackson for context. This is the story, by the way. It's on footballtransfers.com. Apparently, it's an exclusive. And remember, as always, I just react to the stories. I am not the journalist myself writing these stories. We'll pay homage to Chelsea women, of course, speak about the top 5 finish and all that jazz. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's going to be a good video. I can feel it deep burning down in my loins. No, it's going to be a good video, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. And should you choose to subscribe, you should hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Yeah. All right, mate. Cool. So, first of all, 6 times? What is 6 times? No, I'm not doing the Scousers 6 European Cups. Chelsea women, 6th WSL title in a row, and on for an invincible season this campaign in Sonia Bonpastor's debut season as Chelsea women's manager. We thought, oh, Emma Hayes is gone. Are we going to have a couple of seasons like finishing 5th and 4th until we sort ourselves out? No. And it could be an invincible season, 6th in a row. Absolutely incredible from the Chelsea women. They deserve immense credit. Of course, we'll forever be looking to try and sort of exorcise the demon of Barcelona in Europe, but that's for another season. Celebrate the Chelsea women. They are incredible. They've done it again. And, we've recently sold Chelsea, Blue Coat, whatever. I've sold the women's team for 200 million. I mean, if they go invincible, it's just another reason to say, yeah, they are worth it. So, massive congratulations to them. All right, so before we talk about Ollie Watkins and stuff, let's talk about the top 5 race, because now and again I like to look at what the odds are, the aggregated odds on Chelsea finishing in the top 5. We're currently favourites for 5th, above Nottingham Forest. Now, this is huge. This is obviously since the game yesterday, because Nottingham Forest lost at home 2-0 to Brentford. Now, this isn't just an amazing result for us because it leaves us in 5th place when everyone's played 34 games, which of course is absolutely in our hands completely. We've got 4 games left. And really, really salient point, a real notable point, is one of those games, the final game, I believe, is Forest away. Forest away, they just flopped massively to Brentford and lost 2-0. It's 2 things. It's the fact how they dropped points, dropped 3 points, and showing that vulnerability at home that if we win, if we do what Brentford did at that final game, I think we qualify for the Champions League, personally. Of course, there's other games in between, but I think that is going to be the big 6-point swing. Of course, we do play Newcastle, who are in 3rd, and only 2 points ahead of us. And we're in form, we're firing, Jackson's scoring wonderful, beautiful goals again. A little moment of madness, I've bought Cole Palmer on FPL and captained him, because I thought, you know what, let's try and reverse Juju this guy, let's see if we can fix him. because even though he is making passes, creative passes, he got an assist last night, Cole, he just needs a moment. We're praying, all of us collectively, and maybe, you know, it's a fool's hope that Liverpool they've won the title, that they are going to be, you know, maybe a little bit off the boil coming to Stamford Bridge. We've coming off a midweek win where we rotated, knocked off the rust, you know, kept players sharp. I'm hoping Liverpool will be the opposite of sharp because of celebrations and days off. Again, they might slap us. They're the champions. They're better than us. Who knows? But we could beat them. Of course, we've got Man United at home. Man United now, of course, have got one foot in the Europa League final. And by the way, for reference, it blows my fragile mind that both Manchester United and Tottenham, and look at the table yourselves, either of them could easily finish 17th this season by the time the season ends. Plus, because their thoughts are elsewhere. 17th is one place above relegation. Tottenham and Man United. And one of those teams is going to win the Europa League, qualify for the Champions League, and win a really respectable trophy. That's where we are. I talk about it at length on the second channel, Football Yannick. There is a link to that channel in the top of the description should you want my thoughts on all stories not regarding Chelsea Football Club. I upload every day on there as well. And we've just passed 16,000 subscribers. So thank you for that. It's a link in the top of the description, or just Football Yannick. Back to this home. So we play Man United. They'll be thinking of the Europa League final. And then, why not? Why not think about being able to beat Newcastle? I mean, if we get a draw against Newcastle, that, you know, we just, anything there. That's the hardest one, Newcastle away. That's the hardest. Even though Liverpool at home, they're the champions. You don't know what's going to happen. On paper, you know, St. James's Park, Newcastle. But we're favourites for 5th now. And guys, make no bones about it. We could flop. We could finish 6th, 7th. And it would be really bitterly disappointing. But these they can stand up, and we can have a great season, things considered. It's a new, inexperienced coach. You know, there's been more change in player personnel. If we go from the Europa Conference League, put to the Champions League, and win a trophy on the side with a young team, I mean, it's great. It's a great season. I'm sorry. It could be a terrible season. We could finish 7th. We could lose the finals to Betis or Fiorentina, and it will be miserable. So I'm not saying it's happened. There's a lot of work to do, but it could be really good. Let me know your thoughts on the state of play. All right. So yes, Ollie Watkins. Again, for reference, this is a story coming from Steve K as an exclusive on footballtransfers.com. We will look at the stats of Ollie Watkins in just a moment, but it writes a little something like this. Chelsea have approached Aston Villa over the potential signing of Ollie Watkins in case a deal for Napoli striker Victor Osimhen breaks down. Football Transfers has been told by sources close to the club. Now, I don't think Osimhen's going to happen anymore. I'd love for it to happen, but you got people like Fabrizio Romano, all the big transfer heads saying Osimhen just wants too much money. Look, I would happily break our wage structure for Osimhen, but to a degree, you know, like, don't give him the 100k a week, you know, that friggin' whatever Mudryk gets. Give him 200k a week, right up to 250 if he scores loads of goals. Genuinely, that's how I view him. But there's talk of Nico Williams wants £400,000 a week, and he's on 250. Yet no chance, mate. You got briefings all over the gaff saying Chelsea is still really, really interested in Nico Williams. He's a dream target for Nico Williams. I watched him play on the second screen against Man United last week. You want 400k a week, mate? Bet you do. Insert me making a joke about how I want to, you know, get ex Sabrina Carpenter or whatever. Well, she's a bit short. Anyway, this is not Yannick ruling out Sabrina Carpenter because she's too short. Jesus Christ, I'll leave that in for top bants. Yeah, it's blown my mind there. Look, Nico Williams can absolutely do one for 400k a week. 250k a week, he can do one. He's not getting over Cole Palmer, double Cole Palmer's wages to be a slight upgrade on Sancho or whatever. I'm feeling it. Look, if he turns up at Chelsea and we find a way to pay him that works, great, I'll be excited. This is how football works. I'll be very excited about Osimhen, but like the vibes are that, Liam Delap's likely for a lot of clubs because he's good value. But Osimhen's probably going to end up in Saudi Arabia because he just wants to chase the bag, which is, by the way, he can do whatever he wants. He'll still start for Nigeria. He'll still just do whatever he wants and make loads of money. It's up to him. So let's find out about Watkins. The Blues, who claimed a 4-1 conference win over Djurgården, however you say it, on Thursday, are in the market for a centre forward in the summer. Osimhen apparently is top of our list, says this geezer, but there are fears the striker's wage demands, here we go, which saw a deal fall apart last August, could block the move going through, once again prompting Chelsea to look at other options. One of the tracks they are exploring is Aston Villa and England number 9, Ollie Watkins. This I quite like. Unai Emery's side have put a £60 million asking price on the head of 29-year-old striker, who's currently under contract for until 2028, to be fair. Football Transfers understands that Chelsea are willing to match this figure, despite Watkins not being the typical Blue Coast signing in terms of his age profile, 29. But he could be perfect, as in, the guy to be a bit senior around Jackson, help him with his finishing. Can I just say, lately, remember Watkins was dropped for Rashford in those European games for Villa, and then since came back in and just looks amazing, putting in amazing performances, Ollie Watkins. Of course, Arsenal came in for him, but I think he suits Chelsea better in terms of we've got Jackson, we've got a good player in Jackson that in 2 or 3 or 4 years could be amazing. He's 22, 23, Jackson. He hasn't been a striker for that long. He works really hard, and when in confidence, he can do some. He's done 2 great finishes in the last 3 goals to 2 games, 2 of them being excellent finishes on his weak foot yesterday as well. I've been massively high on Jackson. We'll look at his numbers in a minute. I've been high on Jackson. I just want that senior, a little bit more settled striker next to him. And Ollie Watkins could fit the bill. The former Brentford player is liable to be a significant player on the transfer market this summer, with Arsenal already having pursued him in January. No agreement was made with Villa over the transfer fee and the move fell apart. This does not appear to be an issue with Chelsea willing to match the asking price. Yet all the briefings and reports are suggesting Chelsea have money to spend. And they will spend significant money on a centre forward. Arsenal could revisit the deal, of course. Man United have also explored swapping Marcus Rashford for him. Rashford's on insane wages. Just quickly on Osimhen. It also goes on here, Osimhen, about it's reiterated what I've already reacted to on beIN Sports. John Obi Mikel saying he wants Chelsea, yada, yada, yada. So great. If Osimhen comes, we're happy, but I've got a gut feeling it won't happen. Look, Aston Villa, big financial trouble in terms of I'm so happy the papers are saying it after I said it, after looking at the numbers, because sometimes I look at stats and you guys give me a grief for it, but I saw the financial numbers, how Aston Villa were the worst 20th, last place in the Premier League for wage to turnover. They're spending over 90% of their turnover on player wages. They were so dependent on just success. They're literally they're at the poker table and they're putting their children's college fund on it. You know what I mean? We gotta win this hand. And as much as a lot of clubs, certainly Chelsea fans would be very frustrated we didn't make moves in January. If we finished top 5 and we didn't make any moves of January, the sporting directors, much maligned as they are, they'll be going, thank you very much. We did our bet and it paid off perfectly. Now we can go and buy loads of players and we're in the Champions League and it's all rosy. Long way to go, of course, until that. Now, yeah, Watkins is awesome. He's friggin' awesome. Let's look at his stats here. So this is his X-Value page. He's an all-round finisher. His shooting's incredible, which is what you want, really. He gets into a lot of scoring chances. He works very, very hard. This is my sweet spot here. Aerials. Ooh, yeah, that's what you want. A striker that can win and score headers. He can operate all over the gaff. It is important for us, I think, personally, that we get a slightly left-pocketed striker. So, the likes of Cole Palmer can operate here, as well as a right winger. I think in terms of how we play, that is useful. Key metrics per Custer. He gets loads of passes into the final third, touches in the opposition box, loads of really high volume, loads of open play shots in the box, takes loads of shots. That's what you want. A striker who's like, yeah, I'm a good striker. I'm just going to shoot on goal, mate. Don't worry about it. And again, a senior guy, a guy that's not going to get in his own head, a guy who has been there, done it all before in English football, is a good leader, and is, look at this, guys. Look at his expected goals. 98th percentile, non-penalty, 97th percentile. He's in the top 3% of all strikers across Europe for non-penalty XG. He and Jackson, to his credit, generates XG as well. They're good strikers. They get into scoring positions, but Watkins at 29, he can be the senior figure. Really good at receiving passes, really good at expected offensive value added, just generally helping the attack, and of course non-penalties as well. Yeah, just very, very good. And here, look, his expected offensive value added. He's in the top 80% of all strikers across Europe. Now, quickly as well, I do want to show you the understat, and this really is a shout out to Jackson as well. So this is Ollie Watkins and Nico Jackson on understat. Ollie Watkins is represented by green. Jackson is represented by blue. They are similar. Jackson's more creative than Watkins, but Watkins is a better striker. He gets more goals per 90. Expected goals per 90. He gets more goals per 90. Of course, Jackson, and this is this season, by the way, 0.41 isn't awful. It isn't awful, really. It's significantly better than a goal every other 3 games. Of course, he was injured for a long time, Jackson. But Watkins is, 0.6. And this isn't even his best season. If we look at last season, let's get rid of this. Let's look at last season. Because Jackson scored a few as well. Even then, Watkins. So yeah, this is last season, right? So Watkins scored more goals with the same XG, where Jackson scored less goals with more XG. It just shows how much of an underperformance. And this, Ollie Watkins, look at the assists. He got so many assists last season, so he'll create chances for the wingers. Dare I say the likes of Esteval. New attack. Ollie Watkins, Esteval, Cole Palmer. Ooh. Look, man, I remain high on Nico Jackson. I think he's a good player. He's getting better, and provided he can sort out, I think we've done him no favors in terms of making him the guy and just relying on him constantly. It's done him no favors. If it was an Osimhen, I'd feel a lot more comfortable. To be honest, even if it was a Liam Delap in terms of his demeanour, I think he'd carry it better. But Nico Jackson is an excellent football player. He knows exactly what Maresca wants. He executes the plan. He runs the channels. His link-up play is good. He harries. He's possibly the best pressing striker in the Premier League, dare I say. And you know what one of the other best pressing strikers in the Premier League is? Ollie Watkins. It fits. Me personally, I really like it. So let me know what you think. Comment down below. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. I do hope to see you back very soon. Take care. Peace.